The most important decision that you'll probably make in your life is who you spend your time with. Who are the people around you? Mainly, who are your friends? And who are you in a relationship with? Who will you marry? Because I think that above anything else, the quality of your relationships is the most important thing. I mean, you could have anything. You could have wealth, you could have purposeful work, you could have perfect health. But if you don't have good people around you, if you don't have deep connections, if you're alone, then what's the point of that? You see, this is some timeless wisdom. People have always known the importance of who you spend your time with. For example, here's a quote from Epictetus. He said that, above all, keep a close watch on this, that you are never so tied to your former acquaintances and friends that you're pulled down to their level. If you don't, you will be ruined. You must choose whether to be loved by these friends and remain the same person, or to become a better person at the cost of those friends. If you try to have it both ways, you will neither make progress nor keep what you once had. Here's another quote that says, from good people you'll learn good, but if you mingle with the bad, you'll destroy such soul as you had. And of course, there's another quote that's very popular that's attributed to Jim Rohn, and he said that you are the average of the 5 people you spend most time with. And there's also Goethe's, how do you spell his name? Goethe's maxim that says, tell me with whom you consort, and I will tell you who you are. And the second part of it, if I know how you spend your time, then I know what might become of you. So you see, people have always known just how important it is who you spend your time with. Because it's just so true, this saying that you're the sum of the people that you spend most of your time with. And you have probably experienced this, you see, that you pick up the small habits of your friends or your family. You see the way you speak, the way you behave. You see these small little statements, these words, these small little actions. You start mimicking them and imitating them, because this quote is just so true, that you are the sum of the people that you spend most of your time with. I really advise you to consciously consider, who are you allowing into your life? Who do you spend your time with? Who are your friends? Who are the people around you? And do not be afraid to cut off the people that you don't want to spend your time with, to cut off the people who you don't like, who don't respect you, who are not your real friends. And you have every right to do that. And I think that you should do that. I mean, for example, I have also done that a couple of times. There were friends that I was really good with. We were really great friends, but then over time our values changed. You see, we went on different paths. We changed as a person. And then I just ended things because we went completely different ways. And for example, one time I met a person that I ended things with. I mean, I just stopped replying to them. I just stopped replying to the group chat, and that's it. Stopped going out with them. And I met with them in a grocery store, I think. And then she asked me, oh, what happened? I haven't heard from you from such a long time. You haven't been replying to the group chat and all of that. And I just told her that it was time to end it, I think. That we went different ways, and I think that it's time to end the friendship, and I don't want to be in this friendship anymore. And I'm very grateful for the friendship that we had. It was very great, but now I think that we should end it, or I think that we should go different ways, something like that. I told her something like that. And you can tell people these things. You can tell someone that, hey, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. And of course, tell it in a respectful way, that you're grateful for the time that you spent together, and don't just call them stupid or anything like that. Do it in a respectful way, but you have every right to do that. And I think that you should do that. And now first, let's talk about friends. And now I'm not going to go into who is a good friend, who is a bad friend. I made a video about that if you're interested. Instead, what I decided to do is do this kind of exercise with you right now. And basically, we're going to go through a set of questions that you could answer. You could write down on a piece of paper or just think it through in your head. And I think that it's just better this way, to actually think about your friends while I'm asking you these questions, instead of just me telling you, a good friend is this or that. So now we're going to go through a set of questions that I think are great when considering who you want to spend your time with, especially your friends. So yeah, let's do it. So I'm going to list a couple of questions, and you could write them down, write the answers down, or just think it through in your head. So here are a couple of great questions to consider when thinking about your friends. And you can pause the video to think about the questions. First, are my friends making me better? When I'm around them, am I really myself? Or am I holding things back? Am I not being authentic? Do they encourage me to push forward? Do they actually care about me? Do they call me out on my bullshit and hold me accountable? Do they drag me down and encourage bad habits? Do they respect me? How do my friends treat me? Are they reliable and trustworthy? And do they follow through on their promises and commitments? How do they react to my successes and my failures? You see, when you tell them some kind of failure, do you see like a split second of like a smile, like a small smile, this micro expression? Or how do they react to your successes? Do they show genuine interest in my life and actively listen when I talk? Or do they dominate conversations and make everything about themselves? And most importantly, should I spend more or less time with these people? So I think that these are some great questions to consider, and it can tell you a lot about your friends and who will you spend more time with and who are your true friends. So I really encourage you, if you haven't, if you just watch this list of questions and just listen to them, to really think about them, to really write them down and think about these questions. Now let's talk about relationships, and I do think that this is one of the most important decisions that you'll make in your life. Who will you spend the rest of your life with? And I won't really go into this, who's a great partner, what to look out for in a partner. I'll do the same thing, asking you some questions, a list of questions when considering who you want to partner up with. I just say a couple of words. I have made a video about, it's titled, watch this video before entering a relationship. Basically, I talk about stuff to consider before entering a relationship, and I'm just going to recap it very quickly. Basically, if you're young and you're not in a relationship yet, don't rush it. Don't rush it, have all the time, you see. First, get to know some people. Get to really know the person that you're considering to enter a relationship with, because you don't want that situation where you blindly enter a relationship and 1 or 2 years later you realize that this was a mistake and that you made a stupid decision. So don't rush into relationships. Also, be authentic. Be yourself. Don't try to act like someone else. Be yourself. Be honest. Actually say your opinions, what you think about things. Another important thing is to not try to find a perfect partner, but become one. Become that perfect partner. You can also do this exercise, write down on a piece of paper who do you want to marry? Who is your ideal partner? Of course, don't have crazy expectations, because then you'll be lonely forever. And once you have written down those things, think of, okay, will this person actually want to be in a relationship with me? And if not, how could I improve to become a better partner? And if you're interested, I went really into detail in my video that I made. It's titled, watch this before you enter a relationship. I'll leave a link to it in the description. So let's do the same thing that we did at the friends, you see. Some questions when considering entering into relationships. And these questions are actually good if you're also already in a relationship. So let's go through these questions. First, am I able, and of course yet again, you can write this down, pause the video to consider these questions. First, am I able to be my authentic self around them? Or do I feel the need to hide aspects of who I am? Do they encourage me to pursue my passions and dreams? Or do they hold me back? Are they honest and upfront with me, even if it means having difficult conversations? Do they treat me with respect and kindness, even in moments of disagreement and conflict? Can I trust them to be faithful and loyal to me? Do they communicate openly and effectively, or do they avoid important conversations? And of course, you can ask this for yourself. Am I communicating effectively? Do we share similar values, beliefs, and life goals? Ultimately, do I feel happier and more fulfilled when I'm with them? Or do they bring unnecessary stress and negativity into my life? Am I ready and willing to invest the time and effort and emotional energy required for a committed relationship with this person? Do they make me feel valued, appreciated, and loved? Could you imagine her as your wife? Could you imagine having 10,000 more dinners with her or him? Could you imagine her raising your children? So I really recommend you to consider these questions. You can write them down, even discuss them with your partner if you have one. And really, or even you can talk about these kind of deeper questions with a girl that you're considering to enter a relationship with. I actually really recommend it, before entering a relationship, ask some of these questions. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Some of the similar questions, or even these questions that I asked you right now, that can be very grateful to become more intimate with each other, to know each other more. So I really advise you to consider who are the people around you, who do you spend your time with, because you will become like them. And they of course, they influence you a lot. How you feel, how you act, your behaviors, your thoughts, everything. So hopefully this video was helpful. If you're interested, I'm doing free one-on-one calls. You can send me an email and we'll arrange a video call, and you can ask me anything that you want. Email in the description if you're interested in that. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I'll happily answer. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your presence. Have a great day and goodbye.